Welcome, Igniters! Today we're going to have Master Heart Healer Kim Lee. But before we move on, and with that, why don't we learn a little more about Master Kim Lee now?
There are many ways to mend a broken heart, yet Master Healer Kim Lee shows you also how to heal a broken relationship with yourself and others in your life. As a young woman, Kim Lee found herself in a toxic and abusive relationship for over 16 years. She then healed that relationship in 1992. Since then, Kim Lee has been teaching thousands of students and clients how to heal from toxic relationships by using her 7-step heart activation process, a proven method based on her own experiences and knowledge that has been time tested for over 28 years. Kim Lee studied with Nobel Prize winning Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh and received her training with the eminent world-renowned healer, Dr. Barbara Ann Brennan. She's a co-author of the book The Path to Success. She's a loving mother, a master healer, a celebrated teacher, a respected author, and now an honored guest on Ignite Your Essence TV talk show. Master Kim Lee, welcome.
Master Kim Lee, welcome!
Thank you, Michelle. It's such an honor to be here with you and in the Ignite channel and the Los Angeles Tribune. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, well, honestly, Master Kim Lee, the honor is ours because you have this career that has encompassed many, many years. And because of this, we wanted to really delve in deep into your heart and mind. Now, as our audience already saw, they saw a little bit about your origin story, but is there anything that you would like to share about your origin story before we move even deeper into your work?
Yes, just a little bit of my heritage. I was born and raised in Vietnam. My background Chinese. I was born there. At the age of 3 years old, I already knew my calling. I already knew my purpose because back home there's so much suffering around me. And I, at that age, I said suffering is not acceptable. I want to have a magic wand to ding dong people to make them happy. That was my childhood language. And every day I would pray, would be complaint or prayer, something like that. I said, God, I think you make a mistake that you make my physical body so small. I cannot help people around me. Take me home. Take me home. Take me home. One day I have a realization, even though my physical body is small, I can ask for a magic wand. That was my childhood dream. And fast forward, as I heal my relationship within myself and all aspect of me and heal that toxic relationship, now looking back, that dream of mine become reality because I feel like I use my invisible magic wand to help people to activate that heart so they can have heart mind unity, to have inner peace, to heal their, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual well-being. So that's something I want to add to it. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, wow. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much for that addition. So, Vietnam, during the time that you had come over, you said that there was a lot of suffering. And you understand, especially through your studies with Master Thich Nhat Hanh, that suffering is a part of life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to suffer forever. Is that true?
Yes, yes.
How does
Suffering,
that heart involve it? Yes, sorry.
yeah, suffering pretty much it it's part of life. We can choose. We can choose to be present in the moment where every past, present, future integrated. So the suffering, sometimes it can be a choice because when we understand when our heart ignited, unite heart mind unity, we live in the present moment. Present moment is a magical moment. We're no longer suffering. We can be at peace with who we are for what we do in this time that we have, because the present moment If we have the right thought, the right mindset, right action, and right livelihood, our future become magical because the present moment will create our future. So that's something that suffering can be a choice too. Because if we didn't recognize that we are wearing that victim mentality, we can be suffering for the rest of our life. When we learn to practice mindfulness to be in the present moment, our life can be healed, transformed, and become magical. And we become the light carrier to help others to elevate, you know, themselves into the higher frequency of light, of love, of peace, of joy. So thank you, Michelle, for that question.
Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. So, Master Kim Lee, you are known as the Master Heart Healer, and that's just not any kind of title that has been assigned to you. Can you please explain why the heart is so important and why you are the Master Heart Healer?
Thank you. Well, the heart is a powerful engine for love and connection. You see, when somebody die accidentally, people, if they donate the heart, they can remove the heart, and that heart can live by itself without the body for the duration of time before it die. So the heart itself, it have its own identity, it have its own rhythm. See, when the heart removed from the body still function, but when the if we take the other part of our body out, everything shut down. Our mind, our body, everything will shut down. So that's why for me I recognize the powerful in the human heart. And since I was in toxic relationship, I healed my heart from betrayal. And from that place I learned to honor our heart, honor our mind, honor our body in wholeness. So from that place, I realized the heart is the heart and mind in unity is powerful when it's aligned. When it's misaligned, it's different stories. It, that's something I want to share. So so that is my recognition of the heart.
That's so beautiful. And I know also there are many studies that I've read personally that support everything that you said about how the heart works. And yet there's so much that needs to be cleared up as to healing the heart and how to work with it. So if you don't mind, Master Kim Lee, I'd like to ask you a few more questions to get some understanding about how this works. Is that all right with you?
Yes, welcome, welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, Master Kim Lee. So, one of the questions I have is that there's a belief, a common belief, and we've seen this in centuries and even Charles Dickens' classic books, where somebody loses their parents and they go to live with an uncle or a benefactor, or even a parent who has many children, several children, or at least more than one, but decides to only express love to one child. Could you explain why it seems like that's a scarcity state of mind? Like someone believes that they only have enough love just for one person. Can you please speak to that? And is this true?
It's not true, actually. That belief is the wrong belief. In our scarcity mindset, that we think we only have a little bit of love to share with one child that are our favorite, that to me is the wrong belief. Because when we believe in terms of heart activation, when our heart open 360 to love, you become like that gigantic sunlight, that you have so much love, not just for your children, for your grandchildren. You have so much love to share with humanity in that space of wholeness and also the abundance mindset. When you activate your heart opening, heart mind unity, you tap in the field of love. The field of love is huge. It's not just a scarcity mindset that we have little love in our heart. That is the wrong belief in terms of our ego identity, thinking in that fear. We have only little energy, little love. But in truth, We are spiritual being. We are light being reside in this body. The moment we learn to really honor the multidimensional within our being, we tap into that deep reservoir within our beingness and tap into that field of love. Is the enormous that we can share with humanity, just not only a few kids that we have.
Oh, wow. That's so beautiful and such a relief because it's such a common belief. And I just love the fact that we get to ask you all kinds of questions about the heart. So here's another one, Master Kim Lee. So, with the heart, we understand that emotions somehow process through the heart. Now, we attract in our audience, in fact, it's really growing because they certainly are resonating with what you have to share, Dr. Kim Lee. In fact, we have so many people that are saying such beautiful things, like, of course, CEO of the Los Angeles Tribune, Mo Rock, Schmickel Cole, the CEO of Lit Magazine worldwide, and Evelise Cologne, Michelle Wilson. So many people are just sending messages, really resonating, as well as the growing audience out there. So now I'm going to ask you another question, Master Kim Lee.
Thank you, Michelle. I just before you go there, I just want to thank you, Michelle, Mo, and all the audience out there. I'm grateful to be here with you tonight. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you, Michelle. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Always gracious, always from the heart. So, Master Kim Lee, the question that I have next about emotions is that we attract a lot of entrepreneurs and business people, really high capacity level business people. And there's a struggle that happens. They're often told by other people that whenever they get into a little bit of struggle in business, then a lot of times the advice is don't show no heart. Don't feel compassion or emotion. It's about money. Is that a true mindset? Is the only way that you can build financial wealth and build a real financial empire and a successful business? Is it only tied to somebody who cuts off their heart and emotions?
It's not true. According to my own belief, we can choose. See, for those who choose to cut out their emotion and go for the numbers, go for the money alone, look at Steve Jobs at his final letter that he wrote to us. He followed the money, he followed the number to accumulate accolade. By the end of his life, in his 50, he died. And he said the most expensive thing that he ever paid is the hospital bed. Nobody would take it over for him. So for me, by us cutting our emotion and just focus on the number, we actually violate within the law of well-being because we actually use our life force to chase the dollar, the number. By at certain time in our life we have to use the money to buy back our health. So for me, I believe when we understand our emotion is our guidance, whenever we have positive emotion or negative emotion allowed us, it said, Kim, that you misalign with your life force. Something I done that caused the imbalance within heart mind unity. So I have to return to stillness, connect with my emotions, and understand in the heart mind unity, we have the emotion, we have the logic. From that place of balance, we take powerful decision. As the master heart healer for this 29 years, I want to share this. Doesn't matter what problem my the coaches, the healer who come to me to heal that relationship with money, I always focus on to bring the integrity within body, heart, mind, soul, and wholeness to help them to return to love by loving themselves, honor who they are, and not to violate the law of love. Because in that space, if we didn't love ourselves, we didn't love what we do, there's a time in our life that God will grace us to remember our calling, our purpose in life. So it's important that we connect with our emotion in service in all that we do. So we continue to have that well-being, the life force, the passion, the drive to serve humanity in this time in history, which is a challenging time, that we
Mm.
need to elevate our consciousness in love and to really to care for our soul and to care for each other in love.
That's so beautiful and so practical. Thank you so much, Master Kim Lee.
Thank you.
So, I have a question to ask you. It's more in a medical sense, but it certainly has everything to do with the heart. And that is a medical condition called Tycho Subo syndrome. I know you've heard of it. When those of you watching on the audience, that is the condition that a physician found. It's been published and it's been supported of actual scientific phenomenon or actually reaction that happens when somebody is in deep grief. For example, you lose a loved one, and the feeling of loss is so great that a healthy individual will actually die of Takotsubo syndrome. In fact, that's just a medical diagnosis, but we often have heard it over the centuries as dying of a broken heart. So, Master Kim, those who have had a history in the family of Takotsubo syndrome, or perhaps are facing the possibility of losing a dearly loved one, what can you tell them to help them to keep their heart healthy so that it doesn't break literally?
Yes. So what I want to educate the individual is to understand death is not the end. It's the transition of one soul. Our physical might leave behind, our soul, our spirit still intact. So the invitation I will introduce would be allow the individual who lost their loved ones or to broken heart in trauma of somebody betray us, something like that, be able to understand this, to have love for ourselves and let go the definition of loss. There's nothing lost. The journey is if we come to really love, respect, and honor ourselves and understand the law of love, that will bless our loved one who pass on. And if we can embody the multidimensional being within us, we can allow our soul to connect to us in our dream, in our meditation. In that space, we release the attachment to their physical identity and be able to embody them as the soul, because within the soul, we never die. The consciousness still there. If we can shift the identity, like my dad died, I missed him, I lost him, he no longer here. Let's change that belief. My dad no longer in a physical body. Yes, I still can talk to him within my mind, within my consciousness. He's still here within me. So when they can shift to embody the dad soul, the connection still continue, and our loved one who cross over, the only thing they wish for us is to be happy, not to grieve where they are, because they are in heaven. They are no longer suffering. So they are in their wonderful soul evolution of that one being. So the invitation is how can we return to love by loving ourselves deeply and let go the definition of love as grief. Yes, you can grieve in certain time, but do not make it like a permanent. I lost it individual forever, which is not
Mm.
truth.
Ah, that's so beautiful. And the reason why, Master Kim Lee, I brought this up is because, like I said before, we attract quite a lot of our viewers are entrepreneurs and people who do business in a high capacity. And the one thing that we do know among employees or even in leadership is that when there is a loss like that, that affects the heart so deeply, business performance a lot of times stalls, and people have a very difficult time continuing on with their life. And so, am I to understand that you're saying that if we work on those attachment issues and understand our belief system and really make sure that we understand this, that we may not have as much difficulty, certainly not die of Tycho syndrome, but we could actually continue forward and still be successful without having to have this long period of destruction?
Yes, yeah.
Ah.
The reason we grieve is we have problem let go of the individual. We think we lost them. In true, you have not lost them. Their spirit around us, they still here. So if we can get help, get support for the duration of time to really mend our heart, because our loved one from the other side, they want us to be happy no matter what, not to grieve the loss that they transition. Because many times I walk my student to the healing the generational trauma and healing the grief. They actually connect to their loved one in the session, and the message is always the same. They're very happy in heaven wherever they are, and they wish their loved one on earth to be happy for their journey now, not to grieve. So that's the message that I got all the time. And
Mm.
I want to introduce this new concept of death. It's not a permanent loss, it's a transition of one soul. If we release the attachment to that identity as a father, as the husband, the wife, and we can choose like that soul, a transition, you still have the connection to them still.
That's so beautiful. And thank you so much for your take, Dr. Master Kimley, because it's interesting that all of these things that touch the heart are connected to relationships as well. So I'm going to shift gears, and I'm shifting gears to business. There you repair relationships of all sort, but I also know that you're outreached by very large and successful business networks. There are a lot of people who have broken relationships in business, especially business partners, and sometimes I call them venture partners. And they're at a part where they're so broken that they're afraid that they're going to be betrayed again or to have their heart broken in business and such. How do you heal individuals like this? Do you heal individuals like this? I have a feeling you do. Could you
Yes,
speak to
yes, yes.
that, please?
Yes. So first and foremost, whatever the experience we have, the reason we attract somebody in a low frequency who come and didn't really live up to their potential and betrayed us. There's a lesson that we need to learn, because most often I see my student, my client attract these people because they not fully take full responsibility for the business, and they invite the partner in and kind of give the responsibility toward that individual to oversee the business completely. When all hell broke loose, it's a gift in it. So they finally take full responsibility in terms of the finance, the structure of the business. So in that violations, that there's a soul agreement somewhat. I
Oh,
mean, somewhat that they come to, even though it seems like betray in our human perception, but in a soul agreement, they come to fulfill that soul agreement and purpose. And normally, when it breaks loose, I help the client to really forgive the individual, like their business partner, to let go. And when they
mm,
heal their heart and they learn to trust their own intuition, their higher frequency established, they can smell the next person will be the great partner or the partner that will betray them again. So
yes.
they will have the courage to trust again by healing their own heart, trust their own intuition, so they can make more powerful, right decision again.
Wow, that is so powerful. There's actually solutions out there, and you have helped people successfully. Well, Master Kim Lee, I'd like to go further into that venue as we're speaking of. But before we do that, I'd like to take a short commercial break if you don't mind. So don't go away. We're going to move forward. And for all of you in the audience here, you have just listened to Master Kim Lee, the Master Heart Healer. Now, if you just joined us, please remember to check us out in the replays because you're going to want to learn a lot more as to why Master Kim Lee speaks with great authority about all things of the heart, matters of relationships, and how that spills out everywhere, including business, as you heard with Master Kim Lee, what she just said about business partnerships and when they go wrong. But before we continue, I'd like to have our commercial break about the Los Angeles Tribune.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
And we're back. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Michelle Quevedo on Ignite Your Essence. And we wanted to thank you so much for tuning in to talk to us today as we are still continuing with our interview with Master Heart Leader, Master Kim Lee. She is world renowned, and she has been invited of late on stages of thousands, alongside with celebrities and really high level leadership. So it's an honor that we have brought on Master Kim Lee, and she is pouring into us all matters of healing the relationships of our heart. And believe it or not, folks, we had just talked about how broken relationships in business can be healed with the same techniques that Master Kim Lee is developing or has developed, and as sharing with you a little taste of how that works. So we're going to bring Master Kim Lee back here. Master Kim Lee, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank
And
you.
oh, you're so welcome. And I want to encourage our viewers, Master Kim Lee, to catch us on the replays because you're going to really want to listen to all of the learning lessons that she has brought to us from the beginning of this episode. So, Master Kim Lee, you just broke it down to us why a lot of times people get betrayed in business and how those relationships can be healed through your heart method. I'd like to expand a little more on that because this is a groundbreaking concept that more entrepreneurs and empire builders are just now understanding and reaching out to you even as we speak. Master Kim, when people are thinking about creating a business, a lot of times they're geared towards just the money. But what about those individuals who are more focused on finding a solution that's going to help humanity? Is there a way to blend that and still build the money? I know we kind of touched on that, but could you expand a little more about that for our viewers today?
Yes, yes. So we can have both. We can share our gift, whatever gift that we have. We can share our gift and earn money as well. I notice most of the healer that I help with in trauma, they are passionate about their gift and what they can do to help humanity, to help others to heal. The problem that they have is the relationship with money. When they don't have healthy relationship with money, if they judge money, they cannot succeed because money and love, it goes side by side. Because we humanity, we choose to use the money currency to exchange for service, exchange for products. So it's a must. So we need to embody both the aspect of the money exchange and also understand the self-worth in the individual
Oh,
and their
self-worth.
worth in that space, and really love and respect money. Money is the tool to allow us to buy more love, more joy in our daily experience as a human being. So we cannot just choose love alone or choose
Mhm.
money alone. We can combine them, love and money, and serve with integrity, with honesty in that space. We will thrive, I believe. Because in my journey at the beginning, I have no idea. I give service out for free, and those people that I give out to them for free, they become codependent. So I didn't really heal them, help them. But when I decided to charge, there's no longer codependent. They become inter independent. They come to learn, they grow and evolve as the powerful healer themselves. So I want to add this concept here. When you think there's a healer that we will take away your negative energy, things like that, is not true. You are your own powerful healer. We are the healer, the coaches. We hold the light for you. We show you the path. It's up to you to let go of your old identity, to embody, I call it divine, the new divine identity, to know who you are, what is your value, what is your gift, how can you serve your gift and get paid as you deserve in that space. So that I want to add another layer to it, because when I decided to not to reject money, my business started to grow and to prosper.
Wow, that is so amazing. And it just rings so true. Thank you so much, Master Kim Lee. So, what's interesting about what you're saying is that there is a certain element of looking within to find
Yes.
those solutions. And looking within can be a very scary premise for somebody who has always been a person who just reacts and does things, but they're not happy with the results. Can you speak to those people, please, Master Kimling? Can you speak to them and tell them how they can take the first steps of looking within and how it may not be as scary as they think?
Yes. So for the journey to dive deeper, in order to grow, thrive, to accelerate our beingness, we need to go deep first and foremost. Just like the seed, in order for the seed to grow to become a gigantic redwood tree, it needs to root down. The more it can be grounded, the more it can grow powerful in that way. So as the human being that we are, I kind of lost the question, Michelle.
Oh,
We need to, yeah, actually, I remember now. We
okay.
need we need to go deep within our heart, our soul, our inner self, to not to be afraid of our own power, because the inner self, that's your true authentic power. So for those of you have the habitual of reactive and not be present within your inner self, my invitation to you is just listen to this recording, and all you do is just allow yourself to embody some safetyness within you. Just breathing in, I'm safe to be present in my body. Just affirm this. I'm safe to journey deep within my heart, my soul, my inner self, to know who I truly am. What are my gifts? What are my longing? What are my desires? Just stand still and ask those self-inquiring questions, and you gonna attach the safetyness in you, because the deflection that we're pushing out is just our ego take control of our life throughout our whole life. It will not allow us to drop deeper within our beingness. The moment we align heart, mind, unity, the ego no longer have power. So today I invite you, give yourself that permission to feel safety within you, and just walk in nature, go hug a tree, go being with the ocean. Allow that space of stillness to really breathe into it, to be present with it, because that is your inner power, that your true power. Do not deflect, do not reject, because that is your true beingness, your inner self.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for speaking to our viewers so directly and so beautifully, and also helping us to experience how to go within and not be too scared. Thank you so much, Master Kim Lee. You touched on something that I feel is really important that a lot of people get so confused about. And even myself, I think, okay, is this my ego or is this my heart speaking? Now, there is a New York Times best-selling author, Malcolm Gladwell, who's written a lot of books, and he wrote a book called Blink. Blink was about people who make snap judgments, and how a lot of times these judgments are more informative than if somebody overthinks something. Now, that's not always so, but that kind of connects with some information by the Heart Math Institute. The Heart Math Institute shows that by showing up images that people don't know what's going to come up, and it takes a break, and then another image that's supposed to create a reaction, and then these electrodes to see how the heart responded. And as you know, Master Kim Lee, what they found is that the heart was actually responding to an image that came up to 20 seconds prior. So there is that heart knowledge, but how do we tap into that? How can we tell if it's our heart or if it's our ego and our mind? Could you share with us, Master Kim Lee?
Yeah, it's very simple. See, within the heart, you have to understand this. Heart is only open to love and any frequency above that. Neutrality, love, respect, joy. That is the frequency the love open to receive. Whenever the frequency lower than that, the judgment, the fear, the anger, the resentment, the heart will close. So the heart always protect its own somewhat its own beingness. So therefore, the question that we want to ask is the motive. Is it come from a place of fear, or does it come from a place of love or neutrality? Neutrality is good, love is good. So when you feel that neutrality and love, your heart is open. But when you come from a place of fear, your heart closed, your mind is very reactive. So you can ask yourself, is my motive, is it fear or is it love? So that the duality of the ego and the soul, because the ego always function motivate from a place of fear, and that's why it feel the sense of controlling. It need to be in control. So from the heart is different. The heart we come from a place of love, trust, faith, neutrality, peace is our true. The heart is like it present, peace and joy. That the relationship in that space. Wow. So that's the question that we have to ask ourselves.
That is amazing. Thank you, Master Kim Lee, because it's very difficult. It's very difficult because our societies around the world teach us very much to have the mind override. So we know what that's like. But what you're doing is you're sharing with us today how to listen to our heart, which, by the way, folks, has a lot more information that a lot of times some of the most influential people, even famous generals, talk about their heart. Yes. I listen to my heart, not even so much the gut. They talk about their heart. So I think that is something that is wonderful to build upon. Master Kim Lee, when you were talking about how people can ask themselves, and we talked about fear and love, it reminds me so much of the work Course in Miracles. And that seemed to be the theme. of fear and love. And why I want to bring this up is because this may seem, folks, those of you who are watching here, to be totally different of a type of guest that we have in Ignite Your Essence. But actually, Master Kim Lee is no different in the respect that she is an expert that has certainly helped thousands of people and continues and is a growing scale of helping people, because what she's bringing forward is something that, believe it or not, some of the top leaders are actually seeking. So now that we cleared that up, Master Kim Lee, what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask you, if an individual has been going along in life and they're happy, they love all of their children, let's say their children, but their children decide to take a different identity, whether this be they don't want to go into the family business, or if they don't want to go to college and the parents always wanted them to do that, or maybe they're picking a profession that the parents are worried about their future, or maybe let's take it down a little further, maybe it's a sexual identity. All of these things impact relationships and they create rifts among the family members, among business members. Can you speak to that? Why do these rifts happen? And how can your heart healing process help them?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, Michelle. Thank you for that questions. So as parents, remember this, as parents, we love our children, we love our grandchildren. Sometimes we override their gift. See, for me, I raised my children from this belief is a different than the norm, because even though they born from me, I call them my children, but they are children of God. So the ways in which I raise my children a little bit different, because I allow them to grow, to blossom in their own term. So as parents, if we have an agenda, we gonna choose a career for our children, choose a identity for them. We have break the natural law within the universe, because I believe my children come with their own identity, with their own essence. So therefore, I'm a gardener. I can water the seed, make sure they grow and blossom in its own way. Just thinking of a rose bush, it's a rose. So therefore, it blossoms into that gigantic, beautiful roses. So each of our child come with their own essence, whatever the essence is. So I invite those parents who are extremely control their children gender, children identity, and they need to follow your path. Please understand they have their sole purpose. They have their own longing. By us, put them in a boxes of we cannot make them live our dream. If for some reason we force them to live our dream, we actually hurting them. That child will die a slow death. Let me share my story. You understand how I raised my kid. So my youngest child was born as a boy. I named him Roger. More than 10 years ago, he sat me down. He said, "Mom, I need to talk to you. I have a confession to make. I need to talk to you." I said, "No problem, honey. What is it you want to tell Mom?" He said, "Mom, even though I was born in a boy body, I feel like a girl all these years. I want you to know I am a transgender." And I have him explain to me what does it mean. Well, he explained it to me. And he said, "Mom, I would not be happy unless I change my identity to become a girl." So I asked, "Does that make you happy, honey?" He said, "Yes, Mom. This will make me happy. I feel trapped in this body for a long, long time." I said, "Congratulations. If you choose to become a girl that make you happy, congratulate to you. Mommy love you. You know the choice you make, whether positive joy or negative choices that you make, the consequences on your own self. Mommy cannot carry that for you." So I congratulate my child to become a girl. And at that time, I already divorced my ex many, many years ago. And I told her that. I said, honey, if for some reason your dad questioned about you change your identity, have him talk to me. I will talk to him. I will clear the air. So we hug each other. We cry. So for me, I raise my children differently. I honor their calling, their gift, their longing, what make them happy. My agenda is not important. Their agenda for their life is much more important than my agenda for them. Because the moment I die, they have to carry on their own calling, their own purpose, their own mission. I cannot allow them to live, you know, the life that I designed for them. No, not in that way. Thank you, Michelle.
Well, thank you so much, Master Kim Lee, for your candidness and for sharing that deeply powerful story about your daughter. And we just want to give honor to you because I feel that your story is something that's so powerful. And I know out of the millions that watch this on Roku television, that there are many that perhaps this could actually help heal their families or maybe even save their lives. So thank you, Master Kim
Yes,
Lee,
yes.
for being so vulnerable.
Actually, I want to add more to it. It will save their life.
Please.
Recently, her name now, Beth, Elizabeth. Recently, on the New Year Eve of 2022, we have a family friend attend our dinner that day, and she was asking Beth a lot of questions. Before you come out as a girl, what make you do that? And she answered really blankly, really directly, you know, I have no choice whether come out as a girl or die. I can kill myself. So that is very powerful answer that she gave. So for me, I just want to bless some of the parents out there. You might deal with these issues. Please be gentle with your child. Be gentle with yourself. If I can support you or go get support somewhere, you're not alone. I want you to remember that. So thank you, Michelle.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Master Kim Lee, thank you so much for speaking to our audience because as you can tell, our audience is very interactive. We at Ignite Your Essence love to build a global community because we truly believe that dialogue is so powerful and that it can heal. And clearly, Master Kim Lee, you definitely help to heal people's relationships. Now, as we move forward, can we speak to how the heart and happiness work together? How can we heal ourselves and our bodies through happiness? And what role does the heart play in that?
Yes. So the happiness here, a heart. You look at the eyes of the child. You look at the child was born from the moment they're born to 7 years old, they are powerful. All they know is play. All they know is love, joy, and creations. You see, in the child, an innocent child, their heart is open. There's only love and joy and playfulness. So as an adult, we lost that essence of our true beingness. So the first invitation I would invite you is to get to know your feeling. How do I feel within my body, within my heart, within my whole beingness, in my relationship, in my identity, in my business? Ask just a basic question of where you are now. The journey to dive in your inner beingness, inner self, is to get to know who you are and learn to love where you are, even though it's not perfect. So to love oneself is a must. When we learn to love ourselves, and gradually the heart was like really broken and closed. When you learn to love yourself, know who you are, what you are about, what you're calling, gradually you learn to love, trust, and have faith within you. Have that courageous heart open to love you first and foremost. And then from that place, you know the joy, the happiness will follow when you are aligned with all aspects of you. You're not just a physical body. You're not just a human being. You are multi-dimensional being. Within you, you have physical body, you have emotional body, you have mental body, you have spiritual body. So all these body, when it's aligned, you become powerful, light being. So that where your true happiness, joy reside from knowing who you are.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And that really rings true, Master Kim Lee. And once again, I want to thank you so much on behalf of us and Ignite Your Essence. And I know our audience, because there's so much value that you are giving from the heart. You touched on something that often comes up. In fact, I've met professional football players who are critically acclaimed for all the things that they've done, touchdowns or taken bad tackles and such. And when they talk to people and they give speeches and they teach people mindset, they often talk about playing from the heart and having the courage of the heart. And yet, it seems that the application of a lot of people is forget the heart. Courage doesn't come from the heart. In fact, a lot of times people translate that as I must be fearless. But I once heard from Dr. Carolyn Mays that if someone is truly fearless and fearless in everything, they actually become monsters. So there's that balance that happens.
Yes,
Can
yes,
you speak to that?
yeah. The balance between the heart mind need to be unity. Let me use this analogy. It might be strange to you, but it might make sense. But this is an analogy. So the heart and the mind, I use like husband and wife. The heart is the wife, the mind is the husband. So if the husband and wife not united, the family is a mess. There's disharmony at home. So when heart, mind, and unity, you have that neutrality in your emotions and you have clear mind. So when you make decision from a clear mind and from that, not emotionally or from that place of alignment, neutrality, and you there's it's hard to describe, but the thing that I know, when I step into the divine masculine energy, I can make decision. There's no emotion attached. I feel powerful. I feel clarity. I feel my inner strength. But when I step into the divine feminine aspect of me, they're full of emotion, of love, of joy, of elation, or negative emotions. So there's a balance between our mind, there's a balance between our emotions. So it's not numb the emotions, but there's the neutrality space in that. There's expansiveness in that space. It's hard for me to describe, Michelle. Maybe you can ask me another question or
No,
clarify.
I think that's really beautiful because that neutrality, we don't really, that neutrality space, we don't really give credence. In fact, we don't really give a lot of credence to anything in the middle or moderation. Usually people say you have to be one way or the other. And I believe, Master Kim Lee, what you're describing is that space between duality of
Yes,
everyone, and that there is no good or bad. It's not good mind, bad heart, or bad heart, good mind. It's like you said, there has to be that
yes,
connection in there and then space in between. Is that correct, Master Kim
yes,
Lee?
yes, yes. Pretty much in the neutrality, imagine the breath. If you're breathing in now, there's a pause in our breath. There's a
Yes.
pause, there's a stop there. So that's a neutrality place. before we exhale, there's a pause. That where God can grace us in that place of neutrality. So that space is magical. That when we have the actualization of our whether bad habit, whatever that is, we can realize that and we can make a judgment from within us. So neutrality is a very powerful place to be.
That's so fascinating, Master Kim. Now, I'm going to shift gears a little bit for you, if you wouldn't mind, if you'll permit me. A lot of people, because of past experiences or perhaps understandings, they have a difficulty of the reference of the power of God or the divine energy. Can these principles that you're talking about, can this also help them too, even though they're not really sure what that energy is, but they want to be able to heal relationships. They want to heal things of their heart. They want to be successful. Can you speak to them, please, Master Kim Lee?
Yes. So I just want to acknowledge some of you might not relate to religion. Whatever terminology you use, God, universe, source, Allah, whatever you call, it didn't matter. Let me use this language of grace. Give me permission to use the power of grace. So for some of you that longing to heal your heart, heal your relationship, heal your business, all you do, if you allow me to invoke that power of grace within you, all you do just take a deep breath in and honor that space within your heart. Breathe in deeply because the breath itself, it carries the life force. Doesn't matter you call whatever you call in your religion, it doesn't matter. The breath that we're breathing in, breathing out, that itself is divine love, divine grace. That is the power of grace. So as you breathe in deeply, allow this power, allow this breath to enter your heart, your whole being. Allow this to really cleansing, clearing you in the whatever wrong thinking or whatever that was in the past. Now you can reset that at the moment. So allow this energy. All you have to do is just learn to love you, to trust the breath as you're breathing in. It sustain your life. The moment we judge this life force, we stop breathing, we die. So just use this power grace as you're breathing in. Invite this power grace to bless you, to nurture you, to help you grow, heal, and blossom in whatever way that you choose. Just thinking in that term is simple, but yet it's powerful beyond word can describe.
Just that little shift, and yet you can still apply what you're teaching. Thank you so much, Master Kim Lee. So, can you please explain how you mentioned grace, and you mentioned how it doesn't matter if you believe in religion or what reference, use a different terminology because this is something that does affect. Is that correct? That's what you're
Yes,
saying?
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, what I wanted to ask you, Master Kim Lee, is shift one more to another gear. And that's just something, a question that we ask all of our guests. We call it the big question. And Master Kim Lee, we would like to know your answer with this as well. Could we please have the big question? So, the question is, Master Kim Lee, how do we make the world work for 100% of humanity in the shortest possible time through spontaneous cooperation without ecological damage or disadvantage to anyone? Master Kim Lee, is this possible and how can we do this?
Yes, it's possible. See, earlier I shared with you the power of grace because I believe that inner peace is world peace. When we heal our heart, we heal our life, we heal the world. So humanity now being challenged in this paradigm, the old paradigm of scarcity, fear, power hunger. And now the new paradigm that we were introduced to is the wholeness, the love, the trust, the faith. Humanity now being challenged in the intersection of life because in separation, in fear, in scarcity, we perish. So if we come to the new paradigm of love, uh, just start with self-love by loving oneself and things will change from that place. Because if we have the deep love for ourselves, we can share with one another. As we are awakening our heart, return to love, we are responsible to reach out to love other people. I believe in love, in trust, in faith. I believe in abundance. I believe in miracle and magic. If we can all unite it within the human heart in oneness, in the space, we pray for unity, we pray for love. So this is the new paradigm that I've been meditating and asking how I serve billions of people for their heart awakening. As your heart awakening, you only know love. You know true love, not conditional love. Because if we maintain our old paradigm of fear, of scarcity, of power hunger, we hurt and destroy each other. So I invite you to practice whatever you need to do to return to love by loving yourself, loving the depth of our love, how much we can love ourselves, that how much we can love others, and also love the shadow aspect of you, love the light aspect of you, love the both side of duality, not just judge, the shadow is weak, the shadow is bad, and just addicted to the light. Love both duality within you. That when you can love humanity as where we are now. And for this, for what happened within our global war between Russia and the Ukraine, I pray to activate the heart awakening in the leader, in all leaders, to know what love is, that we not violate the human life in that aspect of power hunger to be able to control other being from a place of fear.
Mhm. Well, thank you so much, Master Kim Lee. What a beautiful answer to such a big question. So I need to ask one more question. How fast can somebody shift to break through and to heal their relationship? Is this a long process, or can this happen so quickly working with your method? And have you witnessed this?
It happened just like that, spontaneously. As I help them with heart activation, they can feel the love within them. The journey doesn't take long. I allow my student 90 days to go. The reason 90 day heart awakening take place right away. The journey of 90 days because we need to go to the generational programming or the negative programming. We need to clear it out and also clear out our negative habit, behavior, identity. So it takes like 90 days to disrupt that. And we build the new one I call a divine identity. It's very, very magical in that space. You become a blank canvas, empty in your beingness. You create your new habits, your new belief, your new identity. And that place, I notice my student often, they said, it's such a magical journey when they return to love. Everything around them become easy. It's like manifestation. It's not that difficult. It's like thing like drop into their lap whenever they think of manifest something. So for me, it's so, I would say it's very fast. The individual need to really commit to. If they don't like where they are, commit to not to stay where they are if they don't like their life. and be able to open themselves to possibility to explore who who do who do they want to be, who they want to become, and knowing love deeply by loving, respecting themselves, to learn self-discipline, self-responsibility, self-worth. From that place, life will shift. I'll give you 90 days in that
Wow.
space of transformation and heart awakening.
I would imagine, Master Kim Lee, that 90 days goes really fast. And
Yes.
I can see why we need that time. Like you said, the shift happens right away, but you have to root out all of those things that you inherited, all those things that became your beliefs that are really clouding up your heart, I suppose. And how is it that we don't know everything to work on right away? We have to wait, don't we, Master Kim Lee? Sometimes we have to wait until something comes up that challenges us. And
No,
then
we
we
don't
go,
have
well,
to. We don't
we
have
don't have to wait.
You don't have to wait, because by that you wait by the default. It just
Ah,
make the decision now. My life not according to what I wanted. This is where I want to go. So by you making that choice, the universe will arrange you to meet the right person. Just like, as there's a quote, I don't know where it's come from, as the student ready, the teacher will appear. By you setting a powerful intention, just not staying where you are, where you don't like, just be able to leave that zip code and be able to move into your new identity, new consciousness, so that you don't wait for tragedy to really take place to change. You can consciously choose to change now. In that space, you need to take full responsibility and let go of your victim identity. No longer complain. Take full ownership of your life. Then magic happen. I can help.
and this is, folks, why at Ignite Your Essence, we're honored to have Master Kim Lee speak, because now you don't have to be just raised by her to benefit this. I'm sure your children and your grandchildren absolutely adore you, because no matter what your origin story it was of the toxic background and of the suffering and growing up, here is the heart-centered leader teaching us how to lead our hearts and how to lead from there and still be able to acquire the things that we always dream of. Master Kim Lee, don't go away, because I'd like to allow you the floor for one final message for our guests. But before, I'd like to do a little bit of housekeeping, if you'll permit me.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So, folks, what we're here at Ignite Your Essence is we're here to touch on three parts. And we say this often, but it really is our goal. Our goal is to make sure that with every guest and as we develop these interviews, that we hit 3 points. We want things to be educational. We want things to be experiential in some way for you. And of course, inspirational. And as you can see, Master Kim Lee has hit all of those aspects. And we're certainly honored. And now you can understand the congruency and why so many people in the business world and the entrepreneurial world are really jumping on to the works of Master Kim Lee, as well as the other people who honestly want to heal their relationships through their heart and just move on and make that shift that she wants to happen. Now, I want to thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for our growing viewership. We so appreciate you. And as far as for me and the team, we want to make sure that you do reach out from us. Check us out on all of our platforms. Make sure that you do like and share the other platforms, of course, with Los Angeles Tribune. But we want to also hear from you. We enjoy the feedback because it helps us to enrich all of our guests and also create a direction that will bring us to meeting our goal, which is to help humanity and the planet, and of course, to make you successful in all areas, including business and wealth. So with that, I'd like to bring on Master Kim Lee, but before, I'd like to remind you to always find a reason to smile, no matter what you're going through. I promise you, in that mindset, things will shift, like Master Kim Lee said. And with that, I'd like to add Master Kim Lee. And Master Kim Lee, please, the floor is yours for your final message and gift to our audience.
I just want to thank you, the audience. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, the LA Tribune and the Ignite Your Essence program here. I'm grateful for all of you and also the audience who are watching right now. My closing message is it's important that we learn to love in the right way. Love in the right way, be able to love our shadow, love our light, love all aspects of us. Return to love, love ourselves. The deeper we can love ourselves, the more compassion, kindness, the more space we can hold for each other in this time of ascension, in this time of transition to the new paradigm. And be kind, be patient, be compassionate toward where you are now in your journey. Do not judge. As you grow, you evolve. Whatever happened in the past is already the past. So today, have the courage to love by loving yourself first and foremost. And walk the path that you walk now with gracious heart, with the gratitude. For me, it's just like I wake up today. I'm so happy and grateful I have one more day to live because my birthday will be next month. I'll be 58 years old. So for me, be able to extend my life like every day is a gift. So I'm grateful to be here with you. So continue to be kind, be loving toward you. So in this self-love, self-care, that we nurture our body, nurture our soul, we can share our light, our love with others easily. Because when our energy currency is depleted, we cannot love each other in the right way. When we depleted, our ego took over, the fear, the doubt, the judgment come. So practice self-care in your daily ritual, whatever the daily ritual you do, continue to do that. Live with a gratitude mindset, with a gratitude heart. So in that space, you have smile every day in every breath that you take, every step that you walk, because the journey now from this day forward is focused on love and forgiveness. That is what important. Whatever happened yesterday is irrelevant. So you have the power to create your future now. Start it today. So thank you. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Master Kim Lee. And one more thing, folks, one more thing. Master Kim Lee has told me that she is offering a gift for our Ignite Your Essence audience. Master Kim Lee, would you like to tell us what that gift is?
Yes. So for some of you who watch this, if you feel called to reach out to me, you can hit the kimleehealer.com. In that space, I give a 30 minutes Heal Your Heart breakthrough session, a discovery session. So in that space, you can ask me questions. The benefit from it is you have clarity and you have the understand the power of making decision to change your life. So that is the gift itself. So I welcome for some of you, if you call, let's book the 30 minutes Heal Your Heart discovery session. I look forward to connect with you. Thank you, Michelle. That is the gift.
Well, thank you so much, Master Kim Lee. And as you heard, folks, that shift can happen in an instant. So make your notes, connect with Master Kim Lee, because this truly is a gift that she's gifting to all the audience of Ignite Your Essence. And this is something so valuable. Master Kim Lee, thank you so much. And audience, thank you so much for interacting. Messages are still coming through. We see a growing audience. And for all you, those in the Roku TV space, thank you so much as well. And we'll see you next time. Don't forget, Michelle Wilson, the morning host on her Thursday at 11 a.m. show on Ignite Your Essence, is tomorrow. And she is going to have an amazing guest named Sierra. So you're going to want to check in. I know I'm excited about it. And for all of you, don't forget, I'll see you next Wednesday on the evening show, Ignite Your Essence at 5 p.m. PST. Thank you so much for checking in with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.